We now welcome in the former White House counsel to President Bill Clinton, our friend Lanny Davis, who also happens to be the author of a great new book, which we've talked about on this show, Crisis Tales, 5 Rules for Coping with Crisis in Business, Politics, and Life. Hey, Lanny, how are you?
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me on again. Thanks for the plug.
It's my pleasure, and it's my pleasure. Okay, so you wrote a piece for The Hill last week saying that if it's true that Catherine Rumler knew for several days about the IRS, the impending report that it had been completed and a release date, or almost completed, and a release date was going to be forthcoming soon, and did not tell the president, then you believe she should be fired. Well, we have basically everyone in the world is now reporting that that is exactly what happened. Oh, did we lose Lanny? I think Lanny's jinxed with us, man. Last week, which we had Lanny on for something we tried to, and he was somewhere on his cell phone, somewhere remote where former White House counsels and current authors go. Hi, but we got Lanny back now. Hey, Lanny. I don't know what happened, but
see, this is evidence of the vast right-wing conspiracy.
Yeah, no, the left-wing conspiracy. They know what we're talking about.
All the conspiracies. Yeah. So you were starting to talk about my Hill newspaper.
Yeah, and now what you say if Catherine Rumler, the White House counsel to the president, knew in advance that the report on the IRS was being conducted and was almost finished and was about to be forthcoming, if she didn't tell the president she should be fired, well, all reports now indicate that that's exactly what happened. She did know.
Actually, I didn't say fired. That's much too harsh. And I don't know whether she gave the president a heads up, and they're very finely using words about how much she told them. So I've tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. But if it's true that she knew about this significant media and political controversy that was going to break in the White House and didn't give the president and the press department a heads up, even if the conclusions weren't yet known, to get ready to do a crisis management plan, I wrote that she's in the wrong job and she should resign.
Okay, my mistake. Resign, fired. I know usually they're viewed as one and the same by laymen looking into the Washington scene, but nonetheless. All right, so again, it begs the question. See, it's to the president's advantage somehow to claim he wasn't told, because the president, made a point of saying he found out about this report and this investigation a couple of Fridays ago in the news when everybody else found out about it. How, Lanny, is that possible when she knew on the week of April 22nd and the Treasury Department, Geithner, knew June of last year?
Well, first of all, I don't think that anyone in the White House would say the words plausible deniability, that's why we didn't give the president a. It's just impossible. If they chose not to tell him because they didn't think it was worth telling him until they had the conclusions, final report, that's a misjudgment of a crisis management rule, which is that you have to prepare for the story that's coming, even if you don't know the outcome. So that's the misjudgment, because I said she was viewing this as a legal matter rather than a political and a media matter. You have to prepare just to say the president. We don't know what the results of the investigation are, but it's about a politically motivated, potentially serious story of misuse of the IRS. So we just want to give you a heads up and be prepared. If she didn't do that, it's because she made a legal judgment rather than a media and a political judgment, which was the point of my piece, that if that's the way she's doing things, as a great lawyer that I'm told she is, with all due respect, I think she's in the wrong job.
Right, and you say why? Why, in your view, did the president need to know?
Well, because this is a political institution. It's the people's house. It's not a law firm. He needs to be ready for exactly what has happened, which is a firestorm that was as inevitable as the sun rising in the east. If the White House counsel, and again, I only have respect for her legal credentials, didn't think as a political matter and a media matter that they had to prepare for this firestorm that she must have known was coming, then I suggest that she is not doing her job in the broadest sense as a crisis manager rather than just as a lawyer. And that's what I was suggesting. She's in the wrong job and she should resign.
All right, we're talking to Lanny Davis here on the Steve Malzberg Show. I don't know if you caught the little performance by Dan Pfeiffer on all 5 of the Sunday shows. But this dwarfs in arrogance, chutzpah, and everything else. You talk about crisis management. I can't wait to hear what you have to say, because we're going to play a little soundbite here. This dwarfs what Susan Rice did, because the White House purposely sent this man out, and this man said what he said, and you can't tell me they didn't tell him to say it and know what he was going to say. Every question to him, you'll hear him say that the law doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant in the IRS scandal. When he's asked if Obama was ever in the Situation Room, that's irrelevant. He's offended by the questions. Just give a listen to this little montage of 3 of his answers. Here they are.
Was he in the Situation Room?
He was kept up to date throughout the day.
Do you not know whether he was in the Situation Room?
I don't remember what room the president was in on that night. That's a largely irrelevant fact. The assertions from Republicans here that somehow that the president allowed this to happen or didn't take action is offensive.
And the question isn't who edited what talking points. That's largely irrelevant.
What does the president believe? Does the president believe that would be illegal?
I can't speak to law. The law here, the law is irrelevant.
The law is irrelevant. It's offensive. The talking points is irrelevant. Where he was is irrelevant. I mean, this is the management strategy that the White House came up with?
Well, first of all, he used words and had a tone that comes from lack of experience. And television is a very tough medium, and you have to worry about tone and appearance as well as substance. And I think Dan Pfeiffer is young and experienced, and probably made all the same mistakes that he made yesterday when I first went on television as a White House representative. I think the substance of his message and the comment about it being irrelevant was really more in the context of it's about politics and optics here, and of course it's very serious, which is what I was saying, Ms. Rumler's judgment not to tell the president, even to give him a heads up. But I do agree that I think Dan Pfeiffer did as good a job as he can as an inexperienced and quite young looking, I don't know how old he is, but young in tone, set of presentation.
Well, I know you got to go, Lanny. Bob Schieffer said to him, with all due respect, he said, what are you doing here? He says, where's the White House chief of staff? Where's someone higher up in the administration? What are you doing here on the Sunday shows? So, I mean, I guess Schieffer agrees with you, but saying that in the IRS case, the law is irrelevant, but he said these things on every show. So, I mean, it can't be by accident.
I think he had some poor choice of words that are a reflection of inexperience. I think that was probably a poor choice of words in context. Of course, he's not going to say that the law doesn't matter. But I had a general rule that maybe is a good thing to end with about dealing with the press corps. Mm-hmm. Even if I was personally offended by a question, or even if the question itself was offensive, I felt that the press had a right to ask any question that they wanted to, and I had to answer it rather than characterizing the question. And the worst thing to do is to do that on television. It's one thing for me to have an argument with a reporter on the phone, like what a jerky question that was.
Right.
But that's not doing it on television. I think Dan Pfeiffer needs to get some experience about not criticizing the question, but just providing a straightforward answer.
All right, Lanny, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time. We always like to hear from you.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye-bye. Lanny Davis, ladies and gentlemen.